People did just that. Dozens of volunteers, students, and staff at Union Gospel Mission did their part today. Warm, single-packaged meals were given out to the homeless in St. Paul. Others delivered plates to the elderly. The mission handed out more than 200 meals on site and more than 1,100 off-site all day long today. Meantime, a church in North Minneapolis got in on the action as well. The Faith Deliverance Holiness Church getting permission from the health department to serve hot meals to their neighbors in need. Hot food and baked goods lining the counter for those who need it most. All of these efforts done in the heat of a pandemic, the health crisis changing how our holiday looks and also impacting the number of meals getting out to those who need them this Thanksgiving. Local nonprofits are doing their best to fill the gaps during a year when providing help is more important than ever. Our Sarah Danik has that story from St. Paul tonight.
There's always a need to feed the hungry, but the need is especially great this year on this Thanksgiving. Involved Minnesota tells us they're handing out 1,000 meals between Minneapolis and here in St. Paul, but their work just isn't on the holiday, it's every day. It can take hours to prep one Thanksgiving meal, but when you're making 1,000 holiday meals, it's a whole new level.
Well, unfortunately, some places are not available that originally were going to be available to serve meals, so we're trying to compensate.
Melanie Snyder and her team at Involve MN are on the streets of St. Paul in Minneapolis today.
Today we have stuffing, we have mashed potatoes, gravy, and turkey.
Feeding those who need it most.
They're just like us. Everybody that's living in these encampments, they deserve the same, blessings and love and attention just like we do.
All right, guys, I'm dropping off some Thanksgiving dinner.
There's not an encampment the team won't go to, knowing those experiencing homelessness are facing new challenges daily.
Everybody deserves a roof over their head. Everybody deserves food in their stomach. It doesn't matter where you come from or what you've done.
And COVID hasn't made things any easier.
People are struggling. Jobs are definitely an issue right now. The cold weather is setting in, so that's definitely become a huge issue too.
That's why the team is out here 5 days a week, knowing it's not just the holidays when the need is high.
Today, just like every day, we're doing about 25 or 26 camps just in St. Paul.
And their work at encampments here and in Minneapolis doesn't go unnoticed.
They do this every day. They do this out the kindness of their heart.
It means a lot. It means a lot because we need to know that people care.
In St. Paul, Sarah Danik, Fox 9.
All right, well, let's take a look at what it was like out there today. Other than the clouds, the temperatures weren't bad. Alex Lehnert joining us now with a look at what tomorrow will bring, and I'm hoping some sunshine, Alex.
You got it, Randy. You asked, and you shall receive for your Friday. Things are looking quite nice as we approach, I suppose it's already the holiday weekend for a lot of folks, but as we inch closer and closer to the official weekend of Saturday and Sunday, things are looking sunny for us. After a little bit of a cloudy day today, unfortunately, it was a good day to stay inside and soak up all that turkey and tryptophan out that we had at our beck and call today. Most of us enjoying temperatures just right above average for this time of year. Today we had a high of 36 degrees. Statewide, a couple of places even warmer yet. As you look toward La Crosse, 39 degrees. Up toward Cambridge, 36, and folks in Hibbing and International Falls, slightly below freezing this afternoon rather. A pretty nice day out there, all things considered. No crazy weather that we were talking about. And not going to be talking about that as we head into the weekend. Right now, 31 degrees, the current temperature. You bring a slight wind out of the southwest, ever so slight. Drops our feels like temperature to 26 degrees. So definitely a little chilly outside for your Thursday night. Still seeing some cloud cover lingering. Unfortunately, that cold front didn't quite bring it out of our way quick enough. We'll see clearing overnight tonight. And then, as we head into tomorrow, things are looking really nice. And Saturday is looking quite beautiful. I'll break that all down coming up here in just a little bit. Randy?
All right, Alex, thanks. Turning back to local headlines now. One man dead following a shooting in Minneapolis. It happened just before 3 o'clock this morning in the city's Hawthorne neighborhood near 27th and DuPont Avenue North. When officers arrived, they found a man in his 20s suffering from a gunshot wound. They tried to provide medical aid, but he died at the scene there. The case is being investigated. One person is in custody, another in critical condition after a stabbing downtown Minneapolis. Police say the stabbing occurred around 2:30 a.m. this morning. Responding officers found an adult man suffering from multiple stab wounds. The victim was taken to the HCMC in critical condition, but is expected to survive. President-elect Joe Biden is spending the holiday with a smaller than usual family gathering after urging Americans not to travel or assemble in large groups. But Biden is taking some heat for not living up to expectations when it comes to one key part of his political base. Fox's Kevin Corke has the latest.
Thanksgiving has always been a special time for the Biden family. For us, we've had a long, long tradition of traveling in Nantucket with our big family, a large family, every Thanksgiving. But we won't be doing that this year.
We're all in this together. That's how a Biden transition team member described the former vice president's thinking behind dual messages to the nation, even as court challenges to the election continue. A theme echoed in an op-ed posted by CNN, in which he and his wife Jill singled out frontline healthcare workers, educators, and researchers, and all those impacted by the latest COVID-19 surge. There'll be no family walks in the cold or playful bickering amongst the grandkids. Like millions of Americans, we are temporarily letting go of the traditions we can't do safely. Mr. Biden has pushed the public to not gather in groups larger than 10 in an effort to mitigate the spread of the disease. The Department of Health and Human Services says its officials have conducted briefings with the incoming Biden team regarding Operation Warp Speed and the focus to secure a vaccine to combat COVID-19. And while the man tapped to lead the agency under a Biden administration is a person of color, the lack of African Americans named to senior posts so far is concerning to South Carolina Congressman Jim Clyburn, who told Fox's Juan Williams, "From all I hear, black people have been given fair consideration, but there's only one black woman so far. I want to see where the process leads to, what it produces, but so far, it's not good." People ask why Democrats do not do well in rural communities, and this is one of the reasons.
And you may have heard in recent weeks, Clyburn has pushed for several black officials to hold seats of power for the future administration. Topping business headlines tonight, millions of Americans continue to feel the weight of student loan debt. 7% of borrowers have more than $100,000 in debt. 39% fall below that. Help could be on the way. President-elect Joe Biden is calling on Congress to take immediate legislative action to forgive $10,000 in student debt per student. Progressives are calling for more relief on top of that, but the top Republican in the House is not expressing full support.
It's holding people up. They're in real trouble. They're having to make choices between paying their student loan and paying their rent, those kinds of decisions.
I think getting the economy back working again is the best way of moving forward on how to deal with anyone's debt.
There is a student loan forgiveness plan already available. Some borrowers who meet qualifications can have balances of their student loans forgiven. As Thanksgiving winds down, many are gearing up for what they hope are the perfect holiday deals. Up next, we'll learn what this year's push would mean for shipping. We'll have that and more in just a couple minutes. Stay right here.